Welcome to DU Digimon.
Hello and welcome to DU Digimon and welcome to another deck profile. Not just any deck profile, the final episode of Jank Tank 11, the winning deck profile. So, you will have seen the name of the episode, so you've already had spoilers of course, but if you want to see how this deck did win, do go make sure you go see the rest of the matches that have come out this week. Would really appreciate it. Also like, subscribe, ding that notification bell so you're not missing out on any of the latest content. With me today is of course our champion of Jank Tank 11, which is Alex. Alex, would you like to say hello?
Hello. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. Yeah, are we just going to dive straight in?
Yeah, I guess we're going to dive straight in.
Cool.
So let's get into the profile, see what makes DM Justimon as winning as it was.
Yeah, well, to make it as winning as it was, I have to get to the level 5s, but we're going to start at the 2s first.
We got start small.
Start small. So this is essentially a version 2 build with the DM base. So Tsunomon is really great, so at any point you do tuck anything under it. Digivolve straight up for 1 less. It's one of the few ways that you can save memory each turn is with your Tsunomon and likely Analog Youth starting. It's also blue, which doesn't really help so much right now, but I will tweak this deck with more of the stuff we are getting in the LM set in October, I believe. We'll look into that a little bit later on. But we just run the 4 eggs. Moving on to our level 3s. I basically wanted to ensure that my Justimon can swing as safely as possible. So we run 4 lots of jamming on the DM Gabumon. 4 lots of jamming on the DM Betamon, which no, doesn't match version 2, but it's not really that important on your level 3s.
It's more about the overall DM trait and the jamming, really, isn't it?
That's exactly it, yeah. So, because you are just going to go egg into one of these ones, and then the rest of the version trait related stuff is just Gabumon, which you don't really worry about, because I think I've only ever played this twice, and the rest has been erasing. But just for good measure, I do also run 3 Elecmon with 11 total. Just another card that does say, oh, if I have to swing, at least their security Digimon 3k less. So just for good measure. Also, having 7 of them have training is great. I'd rather Gabumon did have training because I much prefer being able to get ready to stack. But it is what it is. That is what it is.
I mean, are there any other training rookies that you considered before the tournament?
I have. You know I have. It didn't come up, and then as soon as I dropped it, I wanted it. So originally I wasn't running the Elecmon because I was so certain I was going to have the jamming rookies here. Instead, I was running Bearmon, which I believe is version 1 red Bearmon with the raid inheritable.
Version 4?
Might be version 4, actually.
Version 1, so
yes, it is. Yes, it is. One of those ones. Yes, so initially I did think, oh, minus 3k, I'm just going to have jamming anyway. If I was going to have something else, I'd rather it be something that would inherently make sure I can run over from problems. So I had Beamon for the raid. In testing, it didn't come up nearly often enough because I was, I either used, I think it was Bishop. Spoiler alert, I used a couple of devices. So I had Bishop tell things they can't block. And then I would just swing in security anyway. So I didn't need the raid piercing thing to come up. And I would just make sure, let's just make sure I can just swing in freely. That said, if you wanted to go, look, I'm going to see 8 jammings, I'll run one of these as a backup. You could happily change like all of these, or even go, because I'm only running 11. If you want to go with 12, you can go 2 Elecmon, 2 Beamon. Absolutely fine. If you wanted, God, what other level 3s are there? I wouldn't give it retaliation. Gazimon's retaliation. You could run one of the, I think it's version 3's, Pulsemon, which is a when attacking suspend something.
Yes, I believe so.
So if you want to make sure that you're swinging in and nothing's blocking you, you could do that. But how about with these ones? Like, if I'm going to swing in security, I'm going to do my best to make sure I live. And that is those 11 there. Admittedly, I normally go like 12, 10, 8, 5, 6 with my numbers, but I had to trim a couple because of the options we were playing a little later on, which got a bit chunky on the numbers. Moving on to our 4s. I'm running the singular Garurumon now. I used to run this at 3 because I really liked the when Digimon effect to strip your opponent's sources, which I believe was 1 for every one of your face down cards. No, just trash any one. No, yeah, for each of this face down, trash anyone. That's how few times I've used this recently. So that was really helpful because some of our level 5s meant that we were able to get some more removal in the game, which was really good. But the main thing as well is I used to run it for more jamming when I was running the Beamons over the Elecmons, and I thought actually let's just have all my level 3s do all the stuff that says I'm not going to die in security, and just the other one jamming if I need it. But the When Digital Fox is really good, but there's so many really good level 4s in this. I wanted to make sure I include it without completely dropping it. Because we are instead running 3 Angemon. Is that good? For essentially a chance to make sure that I buy myself some time. Because that one does, when Digivolving, to give something security attack -1 and 3k. The -3k does help remove problems, like Floodgate Digimon. Somebody's just gone and slammed this down for an on-play, something in raising. I might as well take out that extra body that's just thrown down. Even if it doesn't help the next swing out. Anything to just kind of help, like...
Well, it helps you with, like, kind of stalling things out, making things smaller as well. Because, like, a key thing I remember this doing in the tournament was you were up against Pyramidimon.
Yeah.
And he had nothing underneath it, so he couldn't use the fragment or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he'd managed to get, like, security attack +2 on it, I think.
Yes.
So you managed to get it down to security attack +1 instead, which, obviously, is better than nothing.
Yes.
But the main thing is when it got that second check, it hit a Justimon, and then just immediately...
That's exactly it, yeah. So if I hadn't done minus security on it, I would have lost my entire security, and I think there would have been the final check, but because of the numbers, it got me down to 0 and he had to pass.
Yeah.
And that literally bought me the game, which I'm pretty sure is on record. So this is where we find out I was entirely wrong.
No. I literally edited this stuff this week. I am aware it's all legal.
The other side of it is the on deletion to recover 1 if you're at 3 or less is also really helpful. Because unfortunately this does have an issue getting all its pieces because DM build doesn't really have much in the way of DM searches. There's no memory boost for a DM card. But the recovery is obviously really helpful in those losing situations. But really good. It's on plays as well, which I only just realised version 2s have on play and when digivolving. Whereas this next one, I was more focused on its when attacking, which is I was running 2 Monochromon. Now, it's not version 2, but again, it's not as important. Version 2 trait is only really important from Tsunomon when you're looking at the 5s, which are version 2. But Monochromon being on play and when attacking means I can safely put this in raising turn 1 and I'm not losing the opportunity. So I can training, digivolve it to this, next turn, swing, and when attacking, de-digivolve something. Obviously, you do your DM things or put things under them to meet that requirement, but de-digivolve is really strong. Blocker and heritable, more useful than I expected.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you get that unsuspend with basically all of your Justimons.
Exactly.
So having that unsuspend is kind of very useful for the fact you then got the blocker as well. Because if you don't have your analog youth out, then actually they're saying that your analog youth wouldn't give blocker to Justimon anyway, would it? Because it's not DM.
No.
So you've got that blocker
No,
guaranteed.
it only gives it'll give reboot because analog youth fortunately only lets things get reboot if they have face down sources, not just being DM traits. So that's cool. But then I still have to give it blocker. So that's where Monochromon is really cool. I also just really love de-digivolve. It's still, I think, the strongest way to remove problems right now. Because so many things, we've had this conversation, which are like deletion protected, removal protected. Sometimes you have to just de-digivolve them down, even to the source of the inheritable giving protection, to get rid of them. And then finally, of the lot, is I think my favourite of the bunch, which is the version 2 Vegiemon. I love this card. I think nearly all the versions have an end of turn cheat, like Digivolution.
This was the last one to come, I'm pretty sure, because this was obviously BT22, whereas everything else was EX9.
Yeah.
But no, I remember watching the matches, like, this was a favourite of yours.
Yeah.
And I can see why, because straight away, the play cost on it is so cheap.
Yeah.
On top of the fact Digivolving into it is no problem with the version 2 egg.
That's it, yeah.
You get piercing. I know with the raid that would be better, but piercing is nice.
That's exactly it.
I think the main crux is going to be that effect just there, isn't it?
Literally that. So you'll see later on that I'm running a few more ways to ensure that my trash gets filled so that I can quickly meet this condition. Because I dropped it from 4, because if I see it too early, all I'm using for is the piercing inheritable, which I can already get from one of my Justimons. It's not terrible, but I can get it other ways. But the end of turn to essentially turn into a level 5, because I only run version 2s, in my trash as well as hand, it's so strong. I did miss up on a couple of the plays because I stupidly would analog youth early to gain memory, then play this, when really I should be playing this to pass memory, digivolving with the effect, and if you go into, spoiler alert, the Vademon, which should be for free, you can then analog youth to go back to your turn. Because then after that, one of the Justimons has Rush and end of turn attack. So you can go up your stack with one play, essentially, in as few words as possible. But no, I really like Vegiemon. I really like Vegiemon. Get your veggies.
Eat your veggies.
Eat your veggies.
Eat your veggies.
But again, it also saying that you could pick up cards from trash means that the numbers I'm showing you for level 5, so if anyone's interested, they don't have to run nearly as many. Because a couple of times I've realised, oh, I've got a level 5 in hand, but I'm going to use one of my trash anyway, which means that, yes, I could just tuck that spare one in my hand as one of my DM face downs, which is also really cool. But you could. There was an argument for quite a lot of changes. So if I didn't want Monochromon, I was considering either Kabuterimon or Kuwagamon to suspend things, just to ensure, like, don't block me. But at the end of the day, I wanted to ensure that I could decrease a threat, at least down one peg, because then the level 5s make things a lot easier for the follow-up swing. So that is my 9 level 4s. So again, running one less than I usually do. Now my favourite bit. Now this whole thing came together because you told me, somebody made a comment saying, oh, DM Justimon, and we're going to have to find out who it was.
No, I know exactly where it was from. So I'm also in Digidane's Discord. Shout out to Digidane, friend of the channel. And there were some people in the chat there all saying DM Justimon kind of slaps. And I mentioned it to Alex.
Yeah.
I've been basically bullying Alex into playing Justimon for the longest time. And he finally cracked. I got him.
Yeah.
And then he beat me in Jank Tank level with it. But yeah, this is kind of, I think this is definitely where it comes together.
This is literally where it comes
because
together.
of the level 5s.
Now, the first level 5 we got completely makes sense. Is the version 2 EX9 MetalMamemon. Now, while the on-playing one Digivolve is really cool, you don't really use the effect to make it cost less, which is a DM thing at the moment. What works is the end of turn, one of your Digimon suspends as an inheritable that then says, oh, if I'm a Justimon X with an end of turn attack, if your opponent has an unsuspended Digimon, that's really cool. So it was just one of those things, especially if you go, Justimon do a swing, I'll play something to pass the turn. MetalMamemon says, like, oh no, I unsuspend. Justimon goes like, oh, well, when we're going to do this, I'll swing for 2 checks, game, whatever you've got. Never came up. But it should.
Naturally, of course.
But what was really cool is why I like this as well. My first love with MetalMamemon actually came with the Garurumon, because Garurumon says, cool, I'll strip 2, maybe 3 sources. And then you go to MetalMamemon, which then says, cool, I'm also going to strip sources and bottom deck something without them, which was another bit of removal, which is really, really cool. So yeah, I'm a big fan of MetalMamemon. I wish it came up more often. I feel like I'm going to have to get some more games in to really show off what else this deck can do, because I think the level 5 that I walked away with madly in love with my new tentacle deity.
And ironically, I hate it.
So is the BT22 Vademon.
This card can literally do one.
Yeah.
I hate this card.
This card is so good. The fact that it's only a common, just so I don't get a release event version of it. So, for those who don't know, the canonical evolution is Vegiemon, which with Vegemon's own effect, will put 3 sources under it. Vademon has an effect on it that says if it's Digivolving from version 2, which Vegiemon is, Angemon is, Garurumon is, it costs 1 less for every face down source under it. So Vegiemon puts 3, normally costs 3. Vegiemon goes into this for free. Free. So getting the when Digivolving when attacking to de-Digivolve 1 something else, especially if you do that with the Monochromon as well, which is pretty cool. De-Digivolve 1 and get rid of your bottom face down source to basically put a 4 cost or lower Digimon or Tamer on the board back into the opponent's hand is really disruptive.
Absolutely.
Really, really disruptive.
It's it literally, so for me, kind of in the perspective of Jank 11, because I was playing Pulsemon, and Pulsemon is so reliant on getting the tamers out. If I didn't have, and I didn't, by the way, if I didn't get my BT17 Pulsemon to forcibly put a tamer underneath me,
Yeah.
this would just go, oh, look, you've got a tamer out, do you? Because you're trying to get your setup. I'm going to put that back into your hand.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to be able to set that up until you've got that specific card. And it was such a pain in the arse. On top of that, de-digivolving, on top of that, doing that on when attacking as well, so it could just keep doing it if it survives.
Yeah, and the great thing is, it most likely will survive because it has fragment as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's got this fragment to protect it.
Unnecessarily.
And on top of that, it didn't come up in our match because, frankly, our match was very one-sided.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
But
it was.
I didn't notice this, the inheritable on there. So you've got the, when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target to this Digimon. So if you've got blocker from your Monochromon, your Justimon is a double blocker, essentially.
It's got the inheritable I wish my Machinedramon had.
True.
which is really, really good. So especially when this then, spoilers, Justimon aces, which I can, when Digivolve, unsuspend it, when Digivolve, give it blocker. Even if I didn't give it blocker, or even if I couldn't unsuspend, I would redirect it into a bigger Digimon as well, which is also really helpful. But Vademon is the GOAT. Being able to go into these from trash with Vegiemon is really, really cool. If anything, the argument to put Vegiemon at 4 is to make sure you've got more chances to go into these again, which is really, really cool. If we get another card that allows us to put DM cards back in our hand more frequently, I'll play them because they're really cool. I do only run these. In theory, each of these works. If you think, oh, the Vegiemons are so good, maybe I'll trim the numbers and only run 3 of each. You can do, because it did get to a point where I had a couple of spares of them in hand and I wasn't using them. But there are worse issues to have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So there's those 8. And then finally flipping playing Justimon.
Yep.
The first time putting it together again in the win. We have our Justimon line. I am running 3 of the Justimon Blitzarm Ace, which is the one that gives you blocker and immunity to Digimon effects. Yes, because I kept getting hit by Heaven's Judgment. That was it. But it's you also get the when Digivolving when attacking to trash an option in the battle area to unsuspend. So use it any option, and that's where this got really nasty. So Vademon, de-digivolve, bounce your tamer, it swings with fragment, cool. Go into Justimon. I'm going to trash your option. And unsuspend, going for a swing. I'm just getting rid of your board. This is really cool. Being able to have one of the few cards in the game that says, no, I'm going to get rid of your scrambles. I'm going to get rid of your memory boost. You can't use them yet. Something comes out of security. Cool. I'm going to, when attack again, get rid of the option you just played, which I think we did.
So Alex actually destroyed my pride. Literally, because it was Hacker's Pride.
Hacker's Pride.
And he just went, yoink.
We're not going to have that. I love Ace. Unfortunately, it's very low DP, and there are ways to fix that, but I did not play it in this deck. We're also
jamming, so.
I did get jamming, that's exactly it. So I get Digimon Effect Immunity and jamming, so the only real threat would have been security effects and some options, which aren't nearly as prevalent, but it was something I was willing to risk. I'm also running Justimon Accel. Now, anyone who's played Justimon before might recognise that this is like the combo. So this is... the reason this is so important is because the Digivolve requirement for this is 1 if name contains Justimon. The newer cards specify over Justimon, Accel, Blitzarm, basically the other versions of it, but you can actually like stack up. So regardless of where you are, you can go over it. But it also means it's one of the I think there's 2 that can go over your Justimon X. So this one and the BT10 Justimon both allow you to put a Justimon beneath you that isn't the same name as it back in your hand for an effect. This one giving you piercing and script up +1. All of a sudden, you're swinging for 2 checks. You then go into Justimon X. Where's our ulti boy? Unfortunately, I got an entire play set of this damn thing, got rid of that, picked them back up. I say picked them up, pulled them again. But I need to get one more. I was destined to. And as I was saying, so you get security +1. Justimon X already has security +1, so you're doing 3 checks. End of turn, unsuspend, swing again. You've taken out your opponent's security entirely from one guy. And the great thing here is you use your Justimon X again. So the combo is actually Justimon Blitzarm. You then go straight into X for the 1. It's entirely a when attacking effect and doesn't actually require you to have like X antibody or just one beneath it to do things. You just have rush, piercing, security +1. But your when attacking allows you to replay a when digivolving effect beneath you of a Justimon. So you can get the on swing Justimon to get rid of an option to unsuspend. I just got rid of 2 of your options. So we're doing 1, 2 checks. And I'm going to go pay 1 to go into this one. Use his own effect to put the Justimon X back into your hand. This is now security attack +1 and piercing. Go into that. So it's actually security attack +2. And then end of turn, swing, wiped out all the security. And I'm still immune to Digimon effects. It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Most people only run the 1 Accel arm. I wanted to make sure I saw it because I was very aware how few searches and draw cards I have in this build. So 3, 2, 3, kind of saw what I needed to. I did not originally use these Justimons. I did use the newest Justimon promo, which allows you to place one of the device options, and then also when attacking, when digivolving, to trash said option. But I found it was too slow. It costs 4 over the Blitz arm as well. I was already playing such a slow deck. I didn't want to slow it down deliberately even more.
I think with these guys, you've got an emphasis on the aggro and swinging in, unsuspending. You've got a little bit of the option control, which is very useful.
Yeah.
Sec +1 over here, the rush and the turn stuff. I think this is all just more indicative of the DM engine. I think if you were playing like a proper Justimon deck, then the promo would be the ideal pick. But for DM Justimon specifically, I think this is the right kind of ratio.
Yeah, I think so. And when you're basically leaving yourself jamming, if your opponent does wipe you out with an option, you'll recover. Just make sure you get an additional chance to survive. You've swung at them multiple times as well. Or if you're not doing that, in their turn, you've gone, I'm a blocker, and I can redirect, so you can try. Because at the very least, if you are Justimon X or Accel, you are 12k. Not great, but there are cards to boost them. You can run your own numbers. You may very well find, like, I only needed Justimon X once or twice, so I didn't need that 3rd copy. Again, I was a bit worried I wouldn't see it, and then I was just playing a DM deck. Which, as we finished the tournament, I realised I mostly just played a DM deck.
Yeah, not going to lie, in the first game against Dan, again, spoilers alert, first game, Justimon didn't appear at all.
No.
And in game 2, Justimon only appeared on the last turn.
Yeah, literally the last turn. So I will keep improving this. I'll try and make it faster. And I think the way to do that is with different options. So I think that's what I'll get to next. So I wanted to keep this as Justimon based as possible. So I was sticking with the devices because I wanted some cheap options that would consistently hit the battlefield that would benefit me somewhat. So straight away is the pawn devices. It's just pay 2, draw 1. And then later on I could trash it and another non-red option to gain 1. Didn't really come up. I just wanted something on the field quickly, 2 cost, one draw. It helped. Then the combo there is with King Device. So if I didn't have device, pawn device out, it would play another one. If I did already or next turn, I can then use pawn to get rid of King. So they're both gone. I get 1 memory. The King Device then activates again to put the pawn back on the board. It kind of just make sure you've got recurring options. If your opponents are having on the board, you can hit your own ones. Didn't come up nearly often enough because people run options. People really, really like them. But I want to make sure I had some devices still on play. This is really what's left over from when I used to run the Justimon promo that focused more on the devices, but I like them. Now, Queen is really good. A lot of people are running Queen anyway to tell something that they can't activate when Digivolve effects, but they can also get another minus 3k, which on top of the Angemon we run can help. It was pretty cool. And then the other one I was running, the one more, was Bishop Device. I didn't want to get blocked. Yes, I had piercing a lot of the time, but sometimes I didn't. So I play this and say, you can't suspend. until the end of your turn. So whether it's a Digimon or a Tamer, you can't suspend. So of the bunch, I would say these two are the best. These would come up because it's cheap. Didn't use King Device once. So I would probably run much fewer of these. Maybe just run Rook, which gives you a DP boost and blocker and things, which I dropped and I shouldn't have. But yeah, devices are very cool. We've got the new Justimon stuff coming out very, very soon, which is going to promote this even more. But I think I may just focus on my DM OTK build, try to speed that up. And then finally, because I have to get these back to him because I'm only borrowing them, we've got our Tamers. We are running 4 of Analog Youth. Analog Youth is a lot better than I expected. At the pre-release, when we finally got this released, I didn't care for this at all. I thought there's a lot of words to do very little. It works. Start a main to be able to start, building a stack. It gives everything without, with a face down card reboot, including my Justimon. So that was really cool to ensure I've got a blocker live.
Oh, so it does give blocker and reboot.
Yeah. Opponent's turn. Anything with a face down source gets blocker.
Shit.
Okay, it gets reboot. It's the only effect on it that isn't DM related. Yeah, which is really cool.
So if you haven't got the face down cards, it won't give you that blocker and reboot.
That's it. Yeah. Now the starter main does put a card from my hand face down only under a DM. That's the only DM restricted bit. But it means that if I stack up into anything not DM related, so my Justimon line, I'm still okay. Analog Youth, it's taken me a while to really realise how to use it properly rather than just every turn. Yeah, I'll put that stack and then I'll immediately suspend it to gain 1 memory and draw. Whereas, as I mentioned, if I'd played my cards right, Vegiemon, oh no, I've passed to 1. I used my effect, I Digivolve to Betamon for free. Suspend, gain back to my turn. So there are smarter ways to play. I also mentioned I wanted to fill my trash a little quicker, so I'm playing another 2 Analog Youths in the EX1. Everyone knows what EX1 does, and this is where I really struggled. I always want to make sure I've got a memory tamer. This time I'm only playing Battle NPC because it lets me draw 1 card.
See, I actually thought, I remember in the DeckList video, I saw this and I thought this was quite clever because this works as your deck's scramble.
Yes.
Because you've got so many different colours you're mostly blue.
Yeah.
But you've got the 1 yellow rookie. So this allows basically any of your DM rookies to be a scramble target, essentially.
Yeah.
Obviously it's at the expense of the tamer, I think. I'm pretty sure you have to delete the tamer to do that.
Yeah.
But it still gives you a scramble. Yes, it's an expensive scramble, but it's a scramble with some other utility as well.
That was it. So one of the things I was hoping would come up would be a cool little play like, oh cool, let's put Gabumon underneath. So if I do have to, cool, I'm completely wiped out, nothing in raising. Battle NPC says play that, get rid of the Battle NPC. Get an on play effect, miss, because I very rarely use the Gabumon. But maybe I go, cool, it was played this turn, I can't do an awful lot. I'm going to go to Vegiemon to pass for turn. End of turn, do my little tuck 3 under it. Analog Use gave me some memory as I go into a Vademon for free.
Yep.
Oh, did you know that this has Rush?
Yep, there you go.
End of turn swing. Didn't come up.
No,
but
it's cool in theory, though.
That was the idea. Going back on it, I think I would rather have run something like a BT3 Davis. Having the chance to pick up any one of my blues, green Vegiemon. So there's an argument to say, like, oh, cool, if I'm going to run Davis, I'll drop the Monochromon, maybe run a couple of Tsunomon. Whatever works, just some more targets. So I was thinking, if I'm not getting the start main effect, and I've drawn 1, or I could maybe add 2 with Davis, more likely add 1, same kind of thing. But Davis, if it reveals a Justimon, is gone.
I was going to say, because Davis is something I play in my mostly blue and green version of Nature Spirits.
Yeah.
But the one card that's most integral to the whole strategy is Vademon.
Yeah.
So every time Davis reveals that card, you end up crying a little.
Exactly. And that's why all those searches that say, oh, look at the top 5, add 1. I'm like, oh, sugar, I've just lost 4 of my best cards. I better make the most out of this one I'm adding. So maybe sometimes a blind draw is fine because your next 1 or 2 might be the card you need and you're not just letting yourself choose to lose it. And that's why Analog Youth is... I would probably drop this one the quickest because I don't really use the all-turns effects as frequently. It can help if my opponent finally wipes out my Justimon. Like, cool, I'll just get 1 back. But I think I would probably drop this as quickly for something that's a bit more direct to the deck. Yeah, this would probably be another memory boost actually, because as I said, I want to tweak it with stuff coming up soon, and I think this is going to straight away turn into a couple of memory boosts. The blue and black one, more precisely, because I can actually search my Justimons, because I can't do that with a lot of cards in this. I think the only card I was considering was the yellow-black memory boost. So I could pick up Angemon, but I lose my Betamons, I lose my Gabumons.
You need the blue-black one to come out.
Yeah,
But
it's
then you
the
also
next
need
one.
to still search yellow and green.
Yeah.
You need blue-black one and the chartreuse one, and just hope they find the right things at the right time.
Yeah, genuinely, it's difficult, but that's why I like these ones, and I think that's why it's Jank approved going in, because it is like, it's a bit mishmash. It's not as coherent, and it's kind of fun. Yeah, it's really kind of fun. But anyone who thinks like, Battle NPC is wank, I hear you. Sometimes I agree with you. In fact, I actually might agree with you. But in theory, it's really good.
Yeah, in theory,
it's really good.
Very good. But,
I think there was one time I played this and I didn't even have a level 3 in hand and I couldn't even draw. So I was like, I'm just going to memory tamer. I'll pass to you, but I'm just going to have 3 every turn so I can do something. And at maybe that point, you go like, screw it, I'd rather have Davis. Cool. I really struggle on what else I could replace with this. It could be anything. I initially had my go-to every single time is it ST12 tie?
Oh, the redirect one.
Yeah, just what do I do? Gain 1 and plus 2k because I was running the raid Beamon. I was like, my Justimon will be bigger.
It works with blocking as well.
It does, yeah. The redirect on Vademon, I'm a blocker too, so I did think like that could be cool. And I was like, no, I do that all the time. I'm going to try Battle NPC again. But that is my build. I am hoping to, change this up a little bit with some more stuff we've got coming next month. See if the new Justimon stuff is any good. Maybe some people want to see something that's a bit more directly Justimon focused, like the new Monochromon, Cybermon stuff that was just revealed in BT23, which isn't normally my jam, but I might give it a whirl, because I didn't think I'd like DM either. And lo and behold, it's one of my favourite engines now.
See, aren't you glad I bullied you into playing Justimon?
Yeah, you did bully me. Yeah, you bullied me. And then I had to tell you, like, all right, fine, give me your ults. It is kind of cool.
Yeah. There's a very nice gentleman gave you this ult.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that is my deck. It's a version 2-esque DM deck with my least favourite Justimons, but they're actually super fun. So let me know if there's anything you'd recommend for the next one. I can't play it until December for Jank.
It's banned until the Champions Tourney now, along with all the other champions.
So you won't see this in a Jank Tank, but maybe I'll give it a whirl in a regular one. Yeah, I might give it a whirl.
We could always do a regular filming of a match.
If I lose that tournament, like full on, we've got Bristol coming. Maybe I'll get ballsy. We shall see.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's everything from me, guys.
Yeah, well, thank you, Alex, and congratulations again on your win. And let us, of course, know how you like this build. What things would you change? Would there be things that you don't change at all? And what sort of things are you hoping out of Jank Tank next? Let us what decks you guys want to see. The tier list vote is now live when you guys are watching this. So do make sure you go and vote in the pinned comments below. So you can decide what's going on. Try and make sure that stuff like Fenrir Lugamon isn't Jank this time.
Yeah, no.
That'd be great. But anyways, like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and we'll see you again on the next video, whenever that may be. It'll probably be me doing my tier list votes, because I always like to do that. But anyways, see you on the next one, guys. Keep it digital.